Now, staying with it. That's obvious, but it's not staying with it, for 50 years, so we do this sometime in the future. It's staying with it for the next election cycle or two so that we can drive that proposed amendment out of Congress and get it on its road to the ratification pathway in the states. And I'd encourage you to stay with it by looking at this graph. I started in sort of 2010, like a lot of people, and we didn't have much at all to show for progress. We just started. But people believed, We believed that this could happen. We believed in the good faith and the patriotism, really, of Americans. We believed that Americans believed in our promise of what our country should be and would respond. And we made that kind of progress, whether it's measured by states or whether measured by the Senate support towards the 67 we'll need. We've made consistent, and now from a perspective of a few years later, dramatic progress. Vicki Barnes started this. Vicki Barnes here in St. Paul just about 5 years ago and has been working diligently and hard like so many other people. And if she just looked at the graph, it's only got a few states, it doesn't have too many senators, you might get discouraged. But she stuck with it, and look where we are now. So we're halfway there, and we stick with this, and we bring more people to this. We're going to get ratification of this amendment, not in a couple generations. We're going to do it now for our kids, for the next generation, and say, all right, we've handed you a boatload of problems, whether debt, climate, war, you name it. But we've also handed you a constitutional foundation that will help you be able to solve the problems in your generation better than we've been able to do. So when we do that, we'll have a big party, we'll celebrate, and we'll believe that, in the future of America again. And I put this slide up because these are people who won amendments. These are the parties. These are the after it's done faces. You don't see many smiles like this in American politics these days. This works. Americans know how to do this, even though it's hard. Whether freeing the slaves and guaranteeing equal rights, regardless of race, and ending poll taxes, which stop people from being able to vote based on their money and race, and getting women the right to vote, lowering the voting age to 18. All of these things we did. And you don't see a single politician who's well known in these pictures. You just see Americans, American citizens. That's how amendments work. It's when the political system doesn't work anymore and we have to do it ourselves. So my favorite celebration picture might well be Happy Days Are Beer Again. That's the repeal of Prohibition with the 21st Amendment. And when we win this one, we'll have Happy Days beer again. And there's a brewery right over here across from this studio you may have seen, so we can already have our victory party planned out. But first we have to get to work.